The burial of Metropolitan Lwanga started with prayers at around 10 a.m. The prayers were led by the Archbishop of the Orthodox Church of Kenya, Makario still rides.
Personally, I worked with the late Archbishop Jonah for over 10 years.
President Museveni, who was the chief mourner in a speech read by the Vice President, retired Major Jessica Alupo, says Lwanga was an experienced and wise leader.
The death of Archbishop Jonah Lwanga has robbed the country of an experienced religious leader who displayed in words and actions a high commitment to both the spiritual and social concerns of his congregation. Under his able stewardship, the Orthodox Church in Uganda has attained a sizable membership of and contributed to the socio-economic transformation of Uganda. His wise counsel on matters of governance, human rights, and development will be missed.
The president also pledged to meet the Orthodox leaders from Uganda and those from Alexandria in Egypt. The King of Buganda, Ronald Mutebi, was represented at the burial by Katikkiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga. He said Lwanga was a consistent leader and loved humanity.
From his deeds, it was evident that he loved humanity. While we are urged to love God, I think it is futile to claim to love God when you don't love humanity. And the reasoning is simple. We live with fellow human beings. We see them every day. God is in our midst, but we don't see him. And finally, Archbishop Lwanga could be trusted because of being consistent, because of loving humanity. It was very easy to trust him because he exuded.
The Minister for ICT, Chris Baryomusi, represented the ruling NRM party and said Lwanga's great leadership skills did not only help Orthodox Church but the entire country.
We would like to thank him for his outstanding achievements as a leader of the Orthodox Church and broadly as a leader in this country.
The leader of opposition in parliament, Matthias Mbuga, remembered Lwanga for being a vocal person.
Well, as we do mourn and miss him dearly, we are so thankful that for the time we lived, observed, and followed him, he was the true shepherd.
Presidents of political parties for NUP, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, and that of ANT Mugisa Muntu were also part of the mourners that attended Lwanga's burial. Kyagulanyi urged Christians to carry on the legacy of Lwanga of being outspoken.
While we were remembering the likes of Bishop Janan Lumo, who was killed for speaking truth to power, it was almost impossible to have such characters, but we are proud in this generation to have lived and touched the hand of people like now the late Archbishop Jonah Lwanga.
Theodoros Kubo, who is not only a member of parliament but also a member of Orthodox Church, commended the government for facilitating Lwanga's burial process from Athens to Uganda.
And particularly you, Your Excellency the Vice President, you chaired the first meeting. When you heard the passing of the Archbishop, she chaired the first meeting. And where we had Honorable Chris Baryomunsi here, we had Honorable Taiwa, who is the government chief whip. We had Honorable Chiriwa Chiwanuka, the Attorney General, and the technical staff. So we want to thank you. We want to thank you so much for making sure that in spite of his hard words, he had hard words, you must concede, but you never closed the door.
Lwanga was buried at 3 p.m. with a 3-gun salute amidst tears. Philip Aguta, UBC News in Kampala.